Recently, I trained myself back to throwing 96 miles an hour, and pelvic planar rotation played a huge role in it. And so here are 3 things that can improve your pelvic plane of rotation. Now, pelvic planar rotation basically means the direction at which your pelvis is rotating. So a bad example would be someone who will be here in their delivery and then rotate upwards before falling onto their front leg. A good example would be someone who will load and then rotate down into foot plant. Right, this is what we call good plane of rotation because we are matching the slope, right? The slope is going this way, and so we want to be rotating on that plane, right? One of the biggest mistakes that we see with low velocity guys are the guys who rotate upwards and then they're not able to transfer as much energy and put as much force into their front leg because, it's just a fall. Rather than if you're actually rotating down into foot plant, you get a lot more force into that front foot. And so the first thing that really helped me with this was a cue. I was talking to my co-founder, Albertus Barber, and he told me to think about slamming my knee down with my back leg, slamming this knee down, so then it creates more of this downward rotation. Because I had a tendency of pushing, right? And so my pelvic planar rotation was more upwards. And so to counter this, I would slam my knee down to get this planar rotation more going down. The second cue that really helped me was getting to my shoelaces of my back foot. And so when I'm in my back leg and I'm going through my delivery, all I'm thinking about is get to the shoelaces of my back foot. And so this really helps your pelvis come through. And especially if you're doing a lot of work on the mound and you have this focus, a lot of the time your pelvic planar rotation will clean up. The last thing that really helped me with this was doing a lot more drills on the mound. And so when I was doing a lot of flat ground work, my pelvic planar rotation wasn't as dialed in because the timing of when my front foot hits is different when I'm on flat ground versus the mound. And so when I started doing a lot more of my plyo ball drills, medicine ball drills, and my throwing work on the mound, I was able to really focus on matching the slope of the mound. And so the big focus became, how can I put as much force into my front leg as possible on the mound? Because if I'm able to do that, I know that my pelvis is rotating down rather than if I'm going up, I know I'm not going to be able to put as much force into my front leg.